الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله فقد قال الله عز وجل في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير صدق الله العظيم. Beloved brothers and elders and friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We just have not many minutes and we've got two discussions, but one that I do not want to lose this opportunity of reminding us. And this is the fact that we just finished Mi'raj the other day. A few days ago was Day of Mi'raj. The day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this amazing gift to Nabi Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam, and by extension giving it to us. So prior to this, what had happened, 10 AH, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam's uncle and wife passed away. The savage Arab Qurayshis, they unleashed upon Nabi Kareem alayhi salam even more trials and tribulations, because that was their way. It was survival of the fittest, and they will harm and do what they want, when they want, how they want. But when you had a family to back you, then they stopped, and because they knew that there would be repercussions. So now they were afraid of no repercussions because there was nobody there. So Nabi Kareem alayhi sallam turned to Ta'if. He went there to speak to the elders and telling them, look, I need some backup. And they could say yes. They had the power to say yes. But they refused. Not only did they refuse, they even harmed him. So that being the background, Nabi Kareem alayhi sallam comes into Makkah when another person by the name of Al-Mut'im allows him and tells the people that, look, I am his backstop. Now, a few days and a few times later, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is taken from Kaaba to Sharifa, and is taken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, okay, I'm going to remind you one more thing that's great, essentially, of what happens. When he leaves Ta'if and he comes, the angel meets him and tells him, look, you've come and asked these people for help, for the deen of Allah. And they've refused. Not only did they refuse, they harmed you. They hit you so badly that your feet, your shoes are clogged with blood. So you can't, it wasn't just a drop of blood, it was a lot of blood. Do you want me, as an allowance from Allah and an instruction from Allah, to drop this mountain? Makkah is mountains, and if you go to Ta'if, if you go visit Ta'if, you'll see that you've got to go via Majuban. It's only mountains and rocks. I'll just drop this on them. Dead. This is amazing. And we all know this. Habibuna Ali Sam said, no, I don't want this. But you know what's more amazing? If you just reflect and think about this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so happy with Nabi Kareem alayhi salam that he said, no, don't harm them. Because Allah loves it when me and you give each other maaf. Allah don't like it when you smack me, I smack you back. Allah allows it. An eye for an eye is there, no doubt, in Quran. But wallahi, if you give maaf, you are on Allah's side. So when Nabi Kareem gave maaf, after he himself was affected, not somebody else, he himself was affected, but he said, I'm giving maaf. Allah is so happy. And all of this put together, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him the gift of gifts, whereby he says, come, I want you to meet me. What better gift can you get than this? So Allah, Nabi Kareem goes up. So we get the salah gift. We get the gift of the last three verses, Lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardi, Surah Baqarah, and the amazing gift of Allah Ta'ala saying that I'm going to forgive all of your What lessons do we learn when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on his way to Mi'raj, and when he left Makkah al-Mukarramah to get to Masjid al-Aqsa? This is what I want to discuss with you. A few minutes. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam leaves. He's on the Buraq. Jibreel alayhi salam is with him. Every step is a long step. Every step is as far as the eye can see. Faster than all the G-wagons and D-wagons. And in that, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam with Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, they stop 4 times. They come down, 2 rakat salah. come down, 2 rakat salah. Come down, 2 rakat salah. Where were these 4 places? One was Medina Munawwara. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the glad tidings that look, these people are troubling you. Don't worry. Soon you're going to be given the allowance to go to Medina Munawwara. This is where your house is going to be. They come down and they reach 2 rakat salah. Then they stop in the place of home of Shu'aib. Then they stop at Mount Sinai. And then they stop at Beit Laham. These 4 places, Jibreel alayhi salam says, come, we're going down, and they read the 2 rakat salah. Whilst they're going, they see an old lady, a very old lady, haggard, finished. She says, come here. Now you know Habibun alayhi salam. You call him for anything, he's going to come and help you. That's the reality. Jibreel tells him, no, let's go. They pass by another person, normal person. Again, he calls him. Nabi Kareem wants to go. Jibreel says, alayhi salam says, no, don't go. So Jibreel alayhi salam tells him, listen, you know who was that? That old lady was the dunya calling you. And why is she in the form of an old lady? Why lady, Allahu alam? But why old? It's as long as the years of the dunya have passed. So she's finished. She's almost at the end of her life. So that's how old the world is, and that's how old she is. And why she's calling you? Because that's the world. It will continue calling you no matter who you are. And who was that person? That person was Shaitan himself. You are Habibuna alayhi salam, but he's going to call you. What about your ummah? So we've got to continue being on Allah's side. Then they continue moving. And then they see frightening things. And now me and you got to reflect. Are these things in our lives? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam sees a group of people with fingernails out of copper. And they scratching themselves and they clawing themselves. And every time they're clawing themselves, it's all bloody. And then Allah Ta'ala makes the meat grow back. And then they claw themselves again, and it grows back. And they claw themselves again, and it grows back. Who are these people? Oh, Jibreel. These people are those who backbite. Now, wallahi, every time I read this, and once a year, you make this bayan, and you think about it, and you stop and think, did I backbite of anybody from yesterday to today? At least, let me think. Did I backbite anybody? How much do I love this action of hurt? The other hadith are clear that when you backbite someone, your good amal will go to them. Also, it is there that what will happen is, if your good amal are finished, your bad amal will be put onto your scale. So how much must you really love this person if you talk about him? Abu Hanifa rahimahullah always said, if you really want to speak about somebody, and you're going to backbite somebody and make some khair, apart from the punishment that you're going to go through, over and above it, speak about your parents. I'll make ghibat about my parents. Because if I'm taking anybody's load, I'd rather take my father and mother's load. And it's not something far-fetched. There are so many things that Habibun alayhi salam saw. Kafani hada, inshallah. So many things that he saw. I'm only going to take out a few things because of time. But ghibat is in our lives and entrenched. We forgot that ghibat is ghibat. Me and you won't go and eat pork, alhamdulillah. We won't go to the liquor store because we know it's haram. But we talk about anyone and everyone like it's not a problem. Wallahi al-azim, it's a major problem. Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq as a reminder. وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ ذِكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And remind one another because it's a reminder. The reminder is beneficial to the believers. We come out from here today and tell ourselves that look, no matter what, if it's my friend talking to me and talking about some stop. Because you're doing him a favor. You go home and your wife wants to know the story. Say, sorry, I can't. Because it's adab for me. Think of this punishment. You want me to give you the story of what happened today and I must talk about that person and talk about that person. Subhanallah, for what? So they can claw my face and make myself get hurt. No, it can't be. Then he goes on and he sees people swimming in the water. Swimmers, mashallah. But now they're not swimming only. The rocks that are in this dam, they're swallowing it. Allah save us. We can't take one small bit of one ilachi goes in. Our throats will pain. And if that one stone came in, then we're getting very angry. Who cooked the food? Because the dal wasn't made out clean enough. This is the rocks. Our throats will bulge. The thing is stuffed inside. It'll cause lacerations. It'll cause blood flow. It's causing pain. He's seeing them swallowing this and going through pain. Oh, Jibreel, who's this? He said, these are those who are eating riba, interest in the world. And you know what, beloved brothers, when you read this hadith, understand that there are many other hadith for these predicaments and these crimes, literally crimes. Many, many other hadith that are even far worse than this. When it comes to riba, and the problem with riba today, interest, is that yes, I don't need interest, I got enough money, no problem. But today we are soaked in a society of this capitalistic world where everything is got to do with interest. Our card, our points, our e-bucks. If I got so much of money in that account, I will get so much more e-bucks. So what do we do as a Muslim? We're Muslims. Tomorrow we're going to die. Tomorrow we've got these ahadith to contend with because we are going in a certain direction where we're all going to meet. That's it. So we've got to be careful. We have to be careful, seriously. We have Islamic accounts. We have things around us that we can make it gel. But Maulana, that Islamic account got the same thing as the other Islamic account. It looks the same thing. They give me profit. Wallahi al-azim, understand something, my brothers. Understand something. Which is halal, which is haram, I don't know. I'm not here to give you a fatwa of which bank is halal, which is haram, but understand something. Because I've heard a cousin of mine the other day saying, Maulana, why must I use that Al-Barakah bank? They're charging me a profit. The conventional bank is... What you talking? You're playing games. Listen to me. What is the difference with zina and nikah? Allah Ta'ala made us come and do a nikah here today. Today, after saying Allah's name and just saying nakahtuha wa qabiltuha, but doing it as Allah wants us to do it. So you're going to go back home? You're still going to have that wife with you? That person that didn't make nikah, he went back home and he still got his girl with him. But the difference is you're doing it how Allah wants you to do it. Simple. It's the same thing. So in business also, Allah made business halal. Allah made interest haram. You got to know the line and you got to take it and use it and play within the boundaries. In Islam, we've all got boundaries. We've got to be inside our boundaries. Something also very, very important. And this is, I'm going to finish up on this before we start the nikah. Nabi Kareem Aslam continues on his journey. And he sees people eating. And he sees there are two pots of food. One pot, if you smell it, it smells like when you go into Qurtuba Palace, you know, that restaurant, how lovely it smells, subhanallah. You won't stop eating. And the other pot is rotten, stinking. You can't stomach it. You're going to throw up. And these people, unfortunately, they're eating from the stinking pot, not eating from the Qurtuba pot. Who are these idiots? Oh, Jibreel, who are these people? He said, these people are those married men or women who are eating haram. They're leaving their halal wives at home or halal husbands at home. Today you got to say halal wives and husbands. In the old days, only halal wives. But today such things are happening. Allah Ta'ala save us all. Save us, save our wives, save our daughters. Because the fitnas out there are, you as ulama, you hear these things and you can't believe it. So those that are leaving their halal and they're going and eating haram. And again, this is like the lightest of punishments. Because if you know what is there out there in the other ahadith to prove to you and tell you stop, then inshallah it will make us stop. Beloved brothers, we've taken 3 lessons from the Nabi Kareem Aslam's journey that he saw himself with his own eyes. Now if we can't take these lessons with us, subhanallah, he continues and he sees the people scratching and tearing out their faces. This is for the ulama. This is for us. Allah Ta'ala make us of the ulama who speak what they don't do. And not only ulama, for everybody else. If you want to preach and you want to talk, every time you're talking, think before you speak that this must be in my life. Otherwise, the punishment is you will be clawing out your jaws and your gums and your teeth. Allah Ta'ala save us all.